We're still waiting for...
Who are we waiting for? Everybody's here?
No, Meredith and Craig are not in the game.
Oh,
I'm not here?
Sorry. No, we didn't join the server.
I kept trying to join and then I forgot that it was disconnected. I don't know.
Yep, for sure.
Bear with us, folks. We are just working through a couple of little technical issues here.
I'm not jamming tonight, I promise.
You're not Nick?
Oh.
No, I have video. Mine works.
Hey, Oak, what does Matt use for video? He doesn't use Discord.
He uses Zoom meeting because his corporate overlords pay for that.
That's right. Corporate overlords. That's funny.
It's not letting me connect. Like, oh, here we go.
Matt, if you're listening to this one day, we love you, man. You're not a sellout.
Yeah, you are.
No matter what Bradley says.
All right, where'd the raccoon go? We're having some technical issues here with Nick's camera. It, for some reason, does not like Discord video, so we're gonna have to put the raccoon back up. Where did he go? Where did evil raccoon go? There it is. Ha!
Hey, friends, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. We're just all getting...
The raccoon is back.
We're all getting settled here.
Awesome. So I am, as far as the stream goes, I am all set to go whenever y'all are ready.
All right. We are still missing... We're waiting on Meredith to connect. All right. We are still missing... We're waiting on Meredith to connect. All right. We are still...
Oh, man. What is up, dude?
Yep. If you're watching the stream, guys, mute your browser. It'll add a bunch of feedback otherwise.
But don't turn the sound of Twitch down because then you won't get counted for your view if it's muted.
How do you mute a browser?
I'm just going to...
Depending on what you're using, typically you can go up to the tab at the top, right click on it, and there should be a mute site.
I found it.
Meredith, we finished your character last Monday after the game, didn't we? You remember?
I thought we finished it before the game. Done. Are you missing something?
Remember we leveled up after after last Monday's session, and then you added a second level of ranger, and you picked some spells. Yep, I think you're done. I think you're good.
Yeah. Me, because I'm new. Yeah.
All right, let me turn... Meredith sounds really distorted to me.
No.
What can I do about that?
Nothing. It's just her microphone.
I'm not using a microphone. I'm just using my...
Right. That's the... Yeah. Don't worry about it. Nothing we can do to fix it right now.
All right.
I will. I'll have better voice next week. I guarantee.
Okay.
I just have to...
Oh, no problem. I can hear you. I just turned you up a bit.
I need a USB hub, which I'm getting.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I have too many things to plug into my... I have too many things to plug into my PC.
Sure.
I need more USB.
All right, folks. Are we all set?
I am ready to go.
Ew.
All right, Meredith.
I feel like...
All right, I think we are ready then. So, last week, who would like to take a stab at a recap of what happened last Monday?
I'm happy to. So, the four of us each found ourselves back at Chords. Each of us knowing Cord for various reasons. Some of us knew each other, and were in many ways not surprised to see each other at Chords. And after waiting for Chords to arrive for several days, which he never did return, we were set upon by a group of red dragonborn that were seeking a cord to in some way exact some form of revenge against him. And in that battle, we did overcome the dragonborn soldiers, but their leader was left to let his soldiers take care of us. Presumably to go try to find Cord elsewhere. It was a tough battle. I was knocked unconscious during the battle, but was the rest of the group was able to overcome the dragons and dragonborn and save me.
Yeah, one death save away from killing the player in the first adventure of the campaign.
Yeah, I almost had to re-roll.
That would have been sweet.
It would have been sweet.
No, I'm a friendly DM. Yeah, that sounds about right. You guys drove off you killed 3 of the Dragonborn, and
Captured
the last one was entangled. And the battle was over. We ended it there. The druid healed you, and you guys have a prisoner of war
for a whopping 1 hit point.
That's right. You just barely healed him. Well, you felt like that was all he really was needed. I guess.
All I deserved.
Poked him with the end of the
that's all he deserved for getting
That's right.
Almost killed in the first encounter. Your Cinia is not sold on your combat abilities yet. So let's. I brought up a couple of images. Obviously, you guys can shrink those when you no longer need them, since desktop space is a premium. Let's do a little recap of your characters as well. So I've got images for everybody's character now. So why don't we'll go left to right in my order, which would be your Cinia first. There is your Cinia. Give us a little recap about your character, and then also tell us what's your Cinia thinking after this battle here in the few seconds after the battle has come to a close.
Yersinia is a crabby old turtle who lives in a swamp not far from Cord's tower, which is how they vaguely know each other. They've bumped into each other a couple of times and are at best not enemies. And he knows that he's welcome to go there if he needs to for some reason, which is how he found himself there. He is a druid, covered in mushrooms and fungus and like mold and rot, and has actually figured out how to use that to his advantage.
Excellent.
As far as what's going on now, he was able to slow the person down the last person down who was trying to run with Entangle, and he's feeling like now we're going to interrogate them.
Was that his first battle?
It was. He's lived very, very much alone for most of his life. Cord is one of the very few people he's ever interacted with.
Is Yersinia young or old as turtles go?
He's fairly old as turtles go.
All right. Just curious there. All right, that sounds good. That's Yersinia. Next, we have Kaylessa, the ranger.
So, let's see. Kaylessa is a young adult, and she spent this battle on top of the roof, kind of as like a sharpshooter, except she was kind of failing at being a sharpshooter a little bit until she got some good positioning, and then finally was able to help out. So she's a little disappointed in not being as helpful as she could have been, so she wants to work on that. And she's still a little out of sorts, confused about these Dragonborn, and she's never seen them before, and so she's like, what the heck is going on here? These guys are killer. And as for, like, you know, she's interested in what we find out from the entangled Dragonborn that's left over. And oh yeah, like I said, she's a young adult. She's pretty good at archery, except she had some issues today or yesterday, you might want to say. And she's happy to keep going and get to know everybody and figure out what we're doing next.
Thank you, Game and Brews, for the raid. Coming in here with a party of 11 people. How'd the rest of your game go? I was hanging out with those guys for a little bit before we started. Here come the poop arrows. Yes, I love it.
I did forget something about Kaylessa. She has a hatching dragon egg on Cord's Earth, which is why she came here in the first place.
That's right. It's starting to crack.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, next up we have Aaron.
I think Oak left. He went AFK.
No, he stepped out for a minute. All right.
I think
Arnak.
Let's just double check. Well, he would say something if he hadn't.
Is it Arnak or a mock?
A mock.
Oh, Amok? I have
Yes.
that spelled wrong.
I guess the R and N make an M.
Amok.
A mock Nelthur.
The drow elf. The half drow.
He's a half drow. So Amok is an outcast. He's the product of a human mother and a drow elf father. He obviously doesn't know who his father is. His village was raided by drow and decimated and left in ruins. And 9 months later, he was born to a human mother. While his mother was alive, he was at best tolerated within his city, or within the remains, what remained of the town that he was born in. And when his mother passed away, he was chased out of town and almost killed. And on his deathbed, as he was about to be killed by several assailants, some being intervened, and he lost consciousness. When he woke up, there was, where's the picture? Where's my picture? Did you have it up? I think I lost it.
You can.
How do I get my big picture back up so I can see it?
I'll help you here. Hold on.
Yeah, throw it back up there. When he woke up, that huge longsword there was buried, about halfway up into the ground, right where he laid. And as he awoke, he could feel that he had been infused with the spirit of whatever had saved him. So he was on his own, found his Cord shortly after that, found him and mentored him in the ways of the blade. But he also had natural mystic abilities that he only assumed were because of his otherworldly patron, but he does not know what infused him. or why?
What's he thinking about? Right? Yeah. What's been his reaction to this?
Well, he's having
Situation.
kind of finally woken up. His main motivation is to interrogate the captive to find out what they wanted with Cord and why they had intended to attack Cord.
Gotcha. All right. And Oak, are you back with us? Or are you still AFK?
No, I had the oven timers going off. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. All right. Last but not least, we have with
Aaron Rex.
Aaron.
You go over what I am or what's what?
Yeah. Just briefly remind us about a little bit about your character, and then tell us what your character's thinking right now after this battle is over.
Yes, Aaron is a mage. He was orphaned during a battle of one of the. We haven't named the cities yet, but that's where he met Cord. That he was about to die, and Cord rescued him and then tutored him. And but it wasn't one of those where he stayed. Beginning, he didn't stay at Cord's place all the time. He stayed in the city. That's where he got the urchin background. But as he started progressing and learning more, Cord kept him further or more and more at his place. So he's been here most of the time for the last couple of years and was hanging out with everybody when all this stuff went down. He's kind of an angry young man for just the pent-up anger of what happened with his family in the city. So anytime he is to lash out, he takes a chance. And he's just kind of pissed off right now. And he's really what he's wanting to do is cut this dude's head off and then send it back to that their leader with the reminder that I told you to not make this another Blackwater incident or Blackwood, whatever we named it.
Right. Yeah, I think it was Blackwater. I can't remember. Excellent. That's a great character picture too, by the way. That's really cool. All right. So, the four of you look at each other. You help Almach to his feet, and you turn and look at the Dragonborn wrapped up in vines that are not going to last too much longer.
Gotcha. I dust myself off and I step forward towards the Dragonborn. And as I get closer to him, I lean in. Found yourself in a pretty little pickle now. I wonder what we should do with you. Why were you here? Why did you come to see Cord? Clearly you weren't looking to trade with him.
Because I was following orders.
And what were your orders?
To find Cord.
For what reason?
Because when one has honor,
I slip my blade under his chin. I'm not gonna cut him, but I slip it under his chin. I'm like, don't waste my time. Let's get.
When one has honor, they obey the commands of their superiors.
So you just blindly came here with no knowledge of what the purpose was. So your commander didn't tell you, when we get here, we're going to capture Cord, we're going to kill Cord, we're going to raid his hut. He said nothing to you. He just said, let's go over here to this part of the forest. I find that really hard to believe.
Why would I share with you our purpose?
Because you like your head attached to your shoulders.
Yeah, you're.
And as he's doing this, I'm taking the heads off the other bodies.
I'm going to lean in and I'm going to look over my shoulder and go, we can do that while you're still alive. And I'm going to try to intimidate him.
He spits out some blood on the ground, spits in disgust, looking at what Aaron's doing. You and your companions have no honor, so why would I share anything with you?
I'm willing to let you leave here with your life and your head if you share with us why you came to Cord's home. Hey, you never know. Maybe I'll be on your side in this.
He looks at Aaron cutting off heads and says, and why would I trust you?
So I'm turned to Yersinia and ask him to let him to take down the vines.
And suddenly all of the worms and the vines and the moss retreat from starting from about his knees down.
All right, and he kind of flexes and shrugs his shoulders, and it shakes that off a little bit, loosened up. He says,
I'm a man of my word.
Cord has stolen something from the Dragon King, and we've been hired to retrieve it.
The Dragon King.
That is correct.
Dragon King? Where I can't remember where we are in our history. Have the dragons returned? I forget.
You guys don't know. So you guys don't know. Your characters know very little about the history of the world or anything that's going on, right? You just know your own little lives, your own little places that you've been, and that's about it. So you have no idea who he's talking about.
We know whether would we know enough to have an inkling that dragons have or have not returned? That real dragons, not just,
or that they've been gone for X number.
Not dragon eggs.
No, there are
dragons, I guess.
Yeah, that you. Let me see. Amok, you've seen a dragon. You've seen a dragon flying overhead during these battles. It was through the forest, through the trees. Then the trees, this forest is ancient and thick and has a heavy canopy. The trees are very large. It's very overgrown. But during all of the chaos in the past few weeks, when you were headed to Cord's place, actually, you believe that you saw a dragon fly overhead.
Would
you heard stories?
Would we know about a Dragon King, or would that be somewhat of a surprise?
No, none of you have heard of a Dragon King.
So I'm like, there is no Dragon King.
You're both full of shit. They've been gone for centuries.
The ancient caste, I know dragons exist, but there are no Dragon Kings. Do you mean a Dragonborn king? One of your kind?
No, but I'm not surprised if you haven't heard of the Dragon Kings. We have traveled.
Does the Dragon King have a name?
Quite a ways. Yes, he does. But you are not worthy to speak it.
I'm not worthy to speak it. So your king is malicious.
He is not my king. Hey, have you not heard of the Red Scales before?
No, I've not heard.
Certainly, you've
not heard of the Red Screens.
You've heard of our.
I have not, but I believe
legendary exploits.
I believe Aaron has heard of your order.
Yeah, I know that.
Aaron. So you have heard of the Red Scales. They're a famous mercenary company. I don't know how you've heard tales of them before, but you knew about one of their battles. You were nearby when they were in a battle in your past, right? Is that what you
Yeah,
decided?
either through studies or whatever. I'm not sure how, but yeah, I rolled good. So I know about them. That's where I pulled their foobar out of my butt from.
So,
Yeah, I hear them talking. I'm like, yeah, and from the stories of your band, you're not always, and I do the air quotes, honorable.
I am honorable in my action.
You speak of honor. Do you find your leaders honorable? Why are you part of the Red Scales?
All Dragonborn are honorable in a way you creatures would not understand.
Okay, man.
Cord is the only creature that has ever extended honor to me. So you speak of honor. What have you done to deserve that honor?
I'm not going to discuss honor with the likes of you. It is clearly outside of your grasp. Do you?
We've let you go. Would it be honorable for me to return your weapon to you before we let you leave?
Did you take his weapon? I think he still has his weapon, doesn't he?
Oh, I'm sure we would have disarmed him while he was wrapped up.
All right.
It would be dishonorable for us to let you go in this wilderness without your weaponry to defend yourself. That is our intent.
Excellent. He lifts up his, holds out one clawed hand, expecting you to hand him his weapon.
That's it. When we're done treating, we'll return your weaponry and send you on your way.
What you guys do know about Dragonborn in this world is that they come from a city-state far to the east. For those of you that know anything about Dragonborn, they come from a city-state far to the east. But Aaron, you know that this mercenary company has been in the area for a while, since you've run into them before. But the four of you know very little about Dragonborn, and I don't know if any of you have, aside from Aaron, have ever seen them before today.
Yeah, I would not have. I would have heard of them, so I'm not surprised by them, but I've never met one before.
Yersinia, what are you doing while this is going on?
He's just very patiently watching this all go on, and is not off to the side so far as to be hiding, but far enough off that he's not near anybody, just kind of fucked off to the side, but close enough that if anything were to happen, could still take action.
Okay, I get the feeling that you are very patient. Is that you personally, or is that all turtles?
It's probably all turtles. I mean,
Right? You live for a very long time, I suspect.
And Kaylessa, what are you doing while all this is going on?
So I climbed down from the roof, and so I'm alongside the rest of the party, and I'm over here kind of getting a little antsy and feisty with just this talk going back and forth. And I just, I'm about to say, come on, let's just tell us something. And, I'm just getting annoyed.
The Dragonborn says, I have told you what I know. Cord stole an artifact, and we've been hired to retrieve it.
By the Dragon King.
By the Dragon King.
Who is not your king.
He is our employer.
All right. So you're
So I believe,
what is your name?
I believe you owe me my weapon and my freedom.
Absolutely, soon. So We will absolutely will, and we will escort you to the edge of the forest so that you have safe passage.
I have a
So-
question.
Yes, please.
I need no escort.
Okay, look, I get that you're a big bad dragonborn, but this is a very dangerous forest. No one should be traveling alone through here. It would be just as bad as us killing you here if we let you go without escort. Is that what you want? You won't make it. You need us. And we're willing to help you.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you. I appreciate the offer, but
You think the four of us are the worst thing in this forest? And you couldn't handle us. With three of your friends, you'll never make it. If that's your wish, we might as well kill you now.
he's still holding out his hand for his weapon. Are you honoring your word, or are you not?
I will honor my word. Will you allow us to aid you in your travel to the forest edge?
No, I will not.
We're going to shadow you. I'll be honorable and tell you that until you've made your way out of the forest. So you either do it with us shadowing you or us with you.
So here, let's clarify something. So remember that this is a extremely large forest that covers a big portion of the land here. So probably the edge of the forest is several days.
Okay, some place safe. You know, well, there's got to be some place where it's well traveled. Are there
You there, elf?
Yes. My name's
Kalissa. I've told you. I'm tired of speaking to this one. I've told you what you need to know, what I know. Am I free to leave or not?
Sue, I have a couple of questions. So, how did you know how to get here?
We were following orders.
Okay. So, how do you know how to get home?
My home is months to the east. I'm not going home.
Where are you going?
Back to my unit, of course.
How do you know how to get there?
I'll find my way.
You'll find your way. That seems quite unlikely.
I appreciate all of the concern over my well-being after you've chopped the heads off of my companions.
That's their concern, not mine.
Yeah.
He stares at you, Aaron, gives you a hard stare. Kind of hisses a little bit.
Yeah, so if you wanted us to keep Aaron from chopping your head off, you might want to be a little bit more collaborative here.
What other information do you need from me?
Do you know what you were looking for? As he kind of steps out from whatever he was doing.
Say that again. Someone was talking over you.
How do you know what you're even looking for?
Who am I working for?
How do you even know what you're looking for? This artifact.
Oh, how do I know what I'm looking for? I don't know what the artifact looks like.
Then how the hell were you supposed to get it if you don't know what it is?
That was not my job.
Okay,
I follow orders of our commander.
So which of the four of you that your commander left behind to die knew what the artifact looked like because he left? So somebody knew.
Cord is not here, you said.
That has nothing to do with Cord.
You came here for an artifact.
We
Your
came here
leader
for a
left.
cord.
No, you said you came here for an artifact. Okay, so what happened to your honor?
Your simple mind is not able to follow the honorable course of action here, and you clearly have never followed orders or been a part of a worthwhile.
Okay, one final
Company.
question for me, anyway, and then I'll
Do
let I'll let my companions decide your fate, since you're not cooperating. Do you intend to go back?
So
to
yeah, your true honor shows itself.
Do you intend? Well, we're going to find out who's most honorable. When we let you go and you return to your unit, or are you just simply going to come back here and attack us?
I'm going to return to my unit, and I'm going to continue to follow my unit's orders, whatever those are.
That's an interesting life. I certainly understand.
He holds out his hand one more time for his weapon.
I turn to my companions, and unless some of you have any other questions, I intend to give him back his weapon. We're going to see what he does.
Let him go back to his commander. And during this time, I've been like fashioning some sort of, I don't know, out of twine or something to hold all these heads together.
All right.
And then I walk over to him. He has his hands out, held out. I'm like, here, take these back to your commander and tell him I told him not to make this another Blackwater incident. These are on him. I just put him the lead in his hand and walk away.
All right. He grabs him, nods.
I hand him his blade, handle first, so he can grab it by the handle. I ask him his name. I wish to know your name, so if we meet again in the field of battle, I know who my adversary is.
He stares at you for a minute. He says, "My name is Akiro."
Akiro, you're a fine warrior. I hope to never see you again. But if I do, under similar circumstances, you will not live.
All right. He takes the blade from your hand and roll for initiative. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
He turns and walks off into the forest.
All right. So I turn to Kaylessa. I assume you can track him.
I definitely can. Let's see. I mean, we could just walk right behind him. He can't get away from us. We're probably faster than him. But
I
If
agree.
he knows we're following him, he's never going to go back to them. He won't
Yes, I
lead us
think that's-
directly there.
I
so,
think that's smart.
Why don't we-
Yesenia.
So
yeah.
let's
Why don't-
pause here for a second. You guys are in front of Cord's tower. There's 3 headless dragonborn scattered about the ground, bleeding out.
Yeah, I think we need to take care of these bodies. I don't think Cord would like these laying around.
If we're going to go
And we
follow
should
this one,
we should search them for anything that might be any additional clues.
if we're going to
For sure.
follow this one,
Or value.
There's
Right.
still plenty of daylight left. I'd say it's late morning.
Yersinia, how much head start should we give this guy?
don't look at me. I'm not the tracker.
Yeah. Me.
Oh, sorry, Kaylessa.
I'm a
How much
turtle.
head
If it
start?
were up to me, I would be ahead of him.
So
Kaylessa, how much lead can we give him safely?
Well, let's see. I think, why don't we take the time to search these guys and clean up this mess? And It'll probably be shortly after later this afternoon, and I think we'll be good.
Okay.
Perhaps we leave the dead ones as a sign.
So
not to come
to
back.
refresh everyone's memory from
Yeah.
last week, just for a second here, the Dragonborn came upon the tower looking for Cord, right?
Right.
And then when Cord wasn't there, or when you guys kind of came out and convinced them that Cord wasn't there, the commander just ordered them to burn the tower down and take you guys captive, right?
Yeah.
Understood. Understood.
Right.
I've got an idea. I want to turn to these guys. Look, I've got an idea. Maybe we can catch up to him after we clean this up and search these guys for anything that might be of interest and might really help us understand what's going on here. I kind of laid the seed with this guy on purpose that, maybe I am interested in why he's after Cord. Maybe maybe I'd be on his side. If we can track him down, I'd like to try to catch up to him alone and try to gain his trust as if I'd like to join his company.
And that'll be dangerous, and he won't trust you.
We'll see.
And
This is what I do. So my part of my background, even though Cord taught me swordplay, I'm really more of a city spirit. And so I've spent most of my youth hustling people in the main city for monetary gain.
What's Aaron? What are you thinking about right now? What's your character's? What's Aaron?
His internal dialogue is like he doesn't care. Let this guy go. He hopes he makes it back to his commander so he can give him the heads. And if he doesn't, well, then good riddance. Otherwise, he doesn't care about him as long as he's not lurking around here trying to come back. He doesn't care if he's gone. He's just wanting to talk to Cord to find out if he knows anything.
Kaylessa, what's Kaylessa thinking right now?
Yeah. So I'm thinking. Well, first of all, Amakbo is and I are on the same page here, and I agree. If Amak wants to do that, and approach him and see what's going on his own, he can. I also have the thought in my mind that I don't want to leave my egg on the hearth by itself for too long.
Oh, I'll bet.
But it's a dragon egg. It's going to take a while. So I am willing to we'll track down. I already forgot his name.
Akira?
Akira. Yeah, we'll track down Akira. I'll hang back. I'll just be like, I'll let Amak know, like, he's over there, and I'll probably head back. Or if we are going to all travel together, I will have to tote along, and you guys, I'll need help. I'll have to tote along my egg, and we'll have to, if we stay out for more than a day or so, we'll have to keep putting it back on campfire, campfire or something.
I gotcha.
But I'm willing to travel, although the whole point of me being here was, what do I do with this thing? But I'm kind of getting the idea that if there really is a Dragon King that's given all these orders, we're going to eventually figure out where this Dragon King is, and then maybe I'll figure out what to do with my dragon that way.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe my dragon will give us some insight, even though it'll be a baby, will give us some insight on what's bad and what's good. It's going to bond with us, specifically me, because I'm going to be there when it hatches. I did learn that from Cord, that I was coming over here because I want it to imprint on me. So he'll, she, don't know yet, will be on our side, but maybe, there'll be some instinctual stuff going on. Plus, I can use, my perception and my ability with nature to kind of read what the baby dragon's thinking about.
Okay. Very good. Yersinia, what are your thoughts right now?
Yersinia is very much just a crabby old man, like, get off my lawn. And so, as far as he's concerned, we killed 3 of the mercenaries. 1 of them left. The other one, we're letting him go. He can go fuck off for all Yersinia cares. And Cord is really like one of the only people that he's ever interacted with on a somewhat frequent basis. And by that, like once every couple of years. And so hearing that he's gone, he's more concerned about finding Cord than anything.
Okay. All right. So just to metagame it a little bit, because we're a new group, right? We're a new group of players and a new game, that type of thing, new campaign. It's better if we follow rule number 1 and don't split the party, right? So coming up with story reasons why you guys don't separate is always preferred. If you're obviously, if you're going to separate for little short periods of time, that's not a big deal, but we don't want to have 2 of you go off one direction and 2 of you go after the Dragonborn and 2 of you go looking for Cord, would result in half the play time for everybody, right? Yeah,
so rule number 1 was split the party.
Depends on what kind of DM you are. So I lean in. I'm like, look, I've hustled way smarter guys than that. I'm confident. I'm confident I can gain his confidence, and unless they have some form of Dragonborns only in the red scales, and even then, and so obviously we all leveled up, right? So somehow I know that my patron has given me a new ability, right? And so even if they do, I cast disguise self to take the form of a red scale Dragonborn. This will definitely get me in.
Good idea. Well, so I really don't want. We all have a final objective of we all want to find Cord. We all have a reason to find Cord. And then a couple of us are a little more interested in also figuring out what this Dragonborn guy is doing. And Aaron just wants to kill the bad guys.
So you know what? Let me have all of you make an insight check for me.
Oh, that's not going to go well.
Just kind of going back in time from when you were when you guys were interrogating the Dragonborn.
Do you want me to do this in the tower, or?
No. You don't have to. Don't ever roll in the tower unless I ask you to. I prefer rolls to be out in the open. And it's more entertaining that way. When you've failed miserably.
Oh.
Or done well.
My self-centered ass is a rare instance of paying attention to other things.
Oh, +5, and I'm lowest at 9 thus far.
Right. Kilessa, so that's on your character sheet on the second tab, the skills tab.
Sorry about that.
No problem. About halfway down is a little less than halfway down is insight. All right, so Yersinia is not sure what to think. The rest of you, Aaron, you didn't really trust that guy too much, but Amok and Kilessa, you believe that he was telling the truth from what you were from when you were interrogating him. That they're looking for some artifact that Cord stole.
So okay, that makes sense. So we are forgetting something really important. While half of us are taking care of the bodies, perhaps it makes sense for Yersinia and or for two of us to search for this artifact. If there's truly an artifact here, we should probably not leave it. In fact, if anything, we should probably take it and leave if they're going to come with a hit squad on Cord.
Well, that's if there's something even here and we know what we're looking for, and if it's something that valuable, Cord probably wouldn't have brought it back to his home.
Mm.
Where else would Cord go?
Do you know how much of a mystery that man is?
This is true, Aaron. This is very true. I still like the idea of, let's find out what we're only going to find out the truth by getting it either getting it from one of the Red Skulls directly under duress, which I'm inclined to believe that Dragonborn are very honorable and would take a secret like that to their death.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to get it out of them is willingly.
Yeah, so rules-wise, most Dragonborn, some of you may know this, some of you may not. Most Dragonborn are lawful neutral, right? So they tend to be lawful. They're, they do have like a high honor-based society, and it's not unusual for them to form mercenary companies. They're very warlike and militaristic. So none of that is unreasonable. It's pretty reasonable to assume that that he was just a grunt soldier following orders.
Sure, somebody had to know though. I think it's worthwhile for us to take a cursory sweep of Cord's place respectfully. We know how the old man is.
Did he say what? He didn't say what we're looking for, did he? Whether it was magic.
He said he didn't know what it was.
Or a weapon. No.
No, he didn't say what it was. He said he was only here to get an artifact, and I have to assume either one of his comrades here that we killed and beheaded and sent back to his company with him was the one that knew what they were looking for, or their commander would have intended to have come back eventually because he did know.
So why don't we search these guys? Maybe one of them has a diagram or
something, yeah,
some instructions or something like that. Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea. I'll be on cleanup duty here.
So it's pretty straightforward. You guys search the bodies. They have coin purse with a few coins. There's little couple of amulets.
Oh, amulets.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Finish.
Well, like trinket type.
Okay, I understand. Jewelry, kind of. Not jewelry.
Not valuable in any way,
right.
But just knickknacks,
mundane jewelry,
that type of thing. But there are no papers or scrolls or anything like that on them, indicating any kind of.
So I'm thinking that since they don't have anything on them, and their commander just left and didn't really care to fight his way into the tower or get us out of here. The commander didn't care. I'm guessing the commander knows it's not here.
No, that's confidence of a well-paid, highly organized mercenary company,
or whatever it is isn't here.
Even overconfidence, right, Aaron?
Yeah,
right.
They're
could be that, or it could be that the artifact. He's certain that the artifact is Cord has it personally.
Yeah, or that. Mm-hmm.
And with Cord not here, all he cared about was clearing out the riffraff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, Cord won't like it, but should we search his home?
Yersinia is already working his way towards the door.
Thank the man that is done everything.
You asked that, and you see the turtle going through the front door.
So I think.
So as a reminder, Yersinia, as you enter inside, right? Cord's place looks like a hoarder's place. Right? There's maps, there's scrolls, there's books, there's all kinds of knickknacks. There's weapons and food and just 200 years worth of collecting stuff, and every spare nook and cranny of his place has got something in it.
All right, so
I don't think we should be going through his things. The man that has given and done so much for each of us, to disrespect his home and not trust him. I think we should wait here until he shows up. We just need to be vigilant and watch for any extra guests that may show up.
So Aaron, you believe the right thing is to just wait for the action to come to us?
No, we don't want the action. I think we should wait for Cord.
Are you guys all still outside while I'm doing this?
Yeah. They're discussing this as they're walking towards the front door. I think. Okay. You're already inside.
He would just
right,
start
I turned to Aaron and I'd say, all right, I'm going to go.
Hold on just a second. Let me let Yersinia describe what he's doing here.
He's just going to immediately just start rifling through stuff. And mostly less concerned about the artifact and more so concerned about where Cord would have gone. And so you said there's maps. I guess that would be the first thing we would take a look at.
Yeah, I'm going the same direction that Yersinia is when it comes to thinking here. Now that we found out that there's nothing on the guys that got left here, I'm thinking more that we should be more concerned about where Cord went, because maybe he does not know that the Dragonborn have already narrowed into the point where they figured out where he lives, and they're getting close to trying to finding him. So I honestly think, we do have two things we need to do. We need to figure out where Cord is and warn him, and then I also think we need to figure out where the instructions are coming from that the Dragonborn are following. So we kind of have two things going on here. I want to trust the fact that, honestly, even if we gave the Dragonborn that left even like a whole day, I'm still going to be able to figure out where he went, because I know these forests and this is, where I'm from. I've lived here for like 200 years.
He's got big Dragonborn feet. You can probably track him pretty well.
Yeah.
While they're discussing this, Yersinia, make me an investigation roll, please. By the way, guys, so the yellow 3 stars is your inspiration. Remember that you have 3 of them to spend each session, and you start the new session with 3 of them.
Can I do that retroactively?
Sure. I'm fine with that.
Do you want me to just roll another one?
Yeah, just spend just uncheck a inspiration roll and re-roll. That's fine.
Not a whole lot.
So you forgot to put advantage. So inspiration gives you advantage. So
that would be the roll. Just one more would make that roll advantage.
That's what I assumed was since I did roll twice, you just take the second one.
Oh, right. But what I'm saying is to build ourselves good fantasy ground habits, right. I want to do it properly.
Yeah,
I will certainly not say no to trying to beat
it seems like that should be, if you're allowing us to use it as we roll, if we fail, say, hey, I want to go ahead and spend one. Otherwise, we're going to have to say before we ever roll.
Well, I'm cutting you, so not typically. I'm cutting you guys some slack because it's a house rule, and this is only our second adventure, right? So I'll let that go for a little while. In the future, I'll be more strict about it.
All right, fair enough.
Wait, what? I missed the question.
Wow.
I know exactly where it went.
Here's the note. He said, "Gone to the grocery store."
right.
Okay.
You find his list. Okay, so Yersinio, you hear the three of them talking, and as they're walking towards.
Oh, I don't.
House.
It's not. It's Yersinia, right? It's not. It's
Yes.
not Yersinio Hall.
What did I say? I said Yersinia.
No, you said You said no.
No.
Sorry.
Yersinia. What does he go by for short? Yersinia is a lot of syllables.
Nerdy. I'm gonna call him nerdy.
Okay, sorry. So Meredith. So you have 3 inspiration, right? If you think of them as tokens, like if we were physically playing around the table, I'd give you little colorful stones or something, right?
Right.
You get 3 of them at the beginning of the session.
Yeah.
And before you make any kind of roll, whether it's an attack roll, doesn't apply to damage, but it does apply to any kind of skill roll or any kind, which includes an attack roll.
Yep.
You can spend one of those inspiration,
Okay.
and then you have advantage on your check.
Yeah,
and
but you were saying
advantage means you get to roll 2 dice and take the higher of the 2.
right.
And then all I was saying to Bobby is just so that to get us all in the habit of being familiar with these house rules and following Fantasy Grounds correctly, get our skill up faster in the long run by taking our time now. So I wanted him to redo it from scratch. I let him retroactively say, I was reminding you guys on purpose, but he'd already rolled, so I let him retroactively say that he wanted to use one of his inspiration, and so I just had him re-roll that from scratch. So he rolled. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what I was trying to get at was you're just reminding us that normally you have to call that ahead of time before we roll. That's what I didn't hear that. There was too much talking.
Yeah.
I was okay.
No worries. Yeah. So normally you should say, I'm going to use my inspiration. This seems like an important roll to me. I'm going to use my inspiration for it, and uncheck one of your little 3 checks, and then roll with advantage. But because it's new and we're only on our 2nd session, I'm not going to be strict about that. So for now,
yeah,
we want to get to
about
you guys remember ahead of time.
I'm good with what the inspiration means. I wasn't sure what you were trying to enforce. So thank you.
Gotcha. Okay. So Yersinia, holy cow!
I have his exact longitude and latitude coordinates.
Yes. So you find Cord under a pile of books. He was there sleeping the whole time. No. So
that'd actually be awesome.
That would be funny. You are going to the maps, you said, right? So
yes.
you find one map stands out in particular because you're thumbing through the maps and you see the word and there's lots of they're hand drawn, most of them probably by Cord or he's collected them, but you see the word artifact catches your eye on one of the maps. So you take a look at it, looking at it closely. It's a map of what is presumably the forest. You think that you can see your swamp, which is quite large, right? Your swamp is acres and acres, miles and miles. And way out in the swamp, you can see it looks, according to the map, there's some kind of ruins. And the word library is written beside that with a question mark.
And you're saying this is in the swamp? The
library is in the swamp.
And you said nothing of how do I not
the symbol for the ruins is in the swamp. Probably a day's journey.
Would I know that those ruins are there?
That's a good question because that's your swamp, right?
Right.
So, how about a history check for me? Yeah, you actually know that building. You're rolling your butt off. There's an ancient ruins of a ancient elven building, extremely large building that's been there, probably thousands of years. hundreds, if not thousands of years, overgrown. The swamp's overgrown and it's been long abandoned. But you know exactly what that building is, or you believe you do.
Okay. I'm going to take the map. Actually, I'm going to throw the map in the fire.
Okay. Okay.
I'm out this whole time. I'm outside taking care of the bodies.
And then walk
and
out.
and Bobby, I'm going to give you inspiration for that, all of that, because that was cool. You went straight in there, rolled a natural 20, found a map and threw it in the fire. So give yourself an inspiration. That was cool.
So he's going to walk out of the tower and say to the rest of the party, "I know where he is. Let's go."
All right.
Will you tell him? Or are we just going to follow you?
He's in an old elven ruin in the swamp. It's about a day's travel from here.
But why? If it's only a day's travel, we've been here for 7 days. How do you?
I don't know
there?
what's in the ruins. I've never been down there.
Yeah. Over it.
I just know exactly where it is. It's in my swamp.
Yeah.
Can I check if I know anything about the ruins in my what I've learned from?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I check and see if I know anything about from my oldest history and the fact that I'm from the area? Can I see if I know anything about what's in there?
Yeah. Why don't you roll a history, because you don't know the area around the swamp, but you are a wood elf who's lived here, whose people have lived here for a long time. So why don't you make a history roll as well?
Yeah, and I'm going to use some inspiration on that too. So do that, and there's history. Did it work? No, hold on. It's not working. It worked before. There we go.
Nice. So you don't know the building that he's talking about, but you do know that that you've heard rumors or stories of that before that area was a swamp, that there was an elven kingdom in there, and so you're not surprised to learn that there's that there's maybe the ruins of a library. It's from the old high elf kingdom that used to be in that swamp, a couple, maybe 1,000 years ago or so.
Okay. So then basically I back up your city and say, hey, yeah, that does look like a good place to go where there might be definitely artifacts, because I've heard about that growing up and from what I've learned. So I second the idea of going out there, see if we can find Cord.
You guys are all inside still, right?
No, I came out.
Okay.
Yeah, he came out. We're outside.
Okay, you shared all this info. I got it.
Yep. But Aaron didn't want to go inside and look for anything. I'm assuming he's at least listening to our conversation, though.
Yeah, I would have been.
We're all outside now, right? Yeah, I mean, now we're all together again. I'm like, okay, this all makes sense. But they said that he stole something from the Dragon King. How can you steal something from the Dragon King unless the Dragon King is also in this swamp area, in the library, and Cord is still there? Doesn't make sense.
Well,
Cord may be there, but he's there for something else.
Maybe he brought the artifact with him.
Yeah, maybe.
What? Sorry.
But Cord's place is going to get burned down. So we're kind of at a crossroads, because they're going to come back. And if Cord's not here, you heard them, they're going to burn the place to the ground. Now, Cord is more important than Cord's house, so I can certainly get on board with that.
What have you guys been doing with the bodies?
I already took care of them while they were inside. I said that a while ago.
Took care of them how? What'd you do?
I drug them as far away as I could and got kind of covered them in the underbrush.
Okay. Aaron, what have you been doing this time? Helping with that, or
Yeah, I've
something?
been helping.
Okay.
And I was waiting to see what Yesenia found, and I just hadn't gotten in the house yet because Yesenia was quick, unlike a turtle.
Okay. The turtle is not fast, but he is walking off into the swamp, right? So.
It's a day away.
It was. I
So-
don't want to speak for you, Bobby. Is that right? Or I thought you're.
I mean,
Or am I
he's
misreading?
not. I mean, he's not so much as like walking away with no regard for what anyone else is doing, but he's definitely making his way in that direction. Yes. Maybe he looks over his shoulder just to confirm, like, "Hey, come on."
Yeah, I think we should. This will be so. If it's a day away, we should go. We should all go, and we'll worry about the. Unfortunately, we'll worry. I think we should worry about the Dragonborn coming back later, and because it sounds like with the honorable part, I'm actually wondering if they don't find Cord, maybe they'd come bust in and look through the house. But to me, it doesn't sound like they just burn it down if there's no reason to.
I think they'll burn it down, but Cord is more important. I definitely agree that finding Cord is the most important thing we can do.
And if we go there, we find Cord, or maybe, unfortunately, if it takes us more than a couple of days to find Cord, I might not be able to come back and figure out where the Dragonborn we wanted to track went. But if we find them...
Yeah, if they're coming back, they're going to come back en masse. They're going to find us. So, yeah, I think this is the right thing to do. We need to find Cord.
Okay.
All right. So it sounds like you guys are in agreement.
Agreed.
You head off into the forest, following Yersinia. Yersinia, you lead them, to your swamp, which is a few hours away. The swamp, it's still a forest, right? So it's not like it's not, it's kind of a mixture of the two biomes. I'd say there's still a big heavy canopy of trees. It's just starts to get marshy underneath, and lots of long dark shadows. You are, because Yersinia, because you rolled so well and you know exactly where you're going, we'll say you're able to lead the party through the evening. At night, you shelter in an old tree that Yersinia has already he's used many times in the past. He advises you all to get up out of the water and to sleep in the tree, this giant tangled tree, and spend the night in the swamp. There's the constant sound of insects buzzing and frogs and strange birds. It's pretty noisy, but you guys get a decent night's sleep for sleeping in the tree. Wake up the next morning with a little bit of sunlight coming through the canopy, and continue onwards. And after about another half a day's travel, let me pull this up. It's late morning, sun's shining through a gap in the trees. The trees are massive, and ahead of you, you can see a lump, and the lump grows as you grow closer until you see the ruins.
Yeesh.
Ooh.
Now, for scale, let me grab you guys on here. So this is a massive building. The trees are massive as well. if you look closely, you can see a door. I think there's in this artwork. I think there's some figures walking on the steps. You can ignore those, obviously. But oops, hold on just a second here. You guys are all kind of. Let me throw you on here. You know, approaching. Yersinia climbs to the top of a old ruins, and you guys are gazing upon this massive building. Overgrown. Obviously, it looks like it's been here forever. You can see that the roof is caved in. There's a large door on the side facing you, and standing on the steps, you see. Well, I guess so. They are there. You see two creatures. Maybe they're statues. It's hard to say. They're motionless. There's one on each side of the door. And Kilessa, you've got your sharp elven eyes as you get to the rise on this. As you look closely, you can see that they are skeletons.
What do your elf eyes see?
Can I tell what they're skeletons of? Or like, are they humanoid? Are they like a creature?
Yeah, they look human or elf sized, and looks like they're holding spears.
That makes me think that there's a trap on the way in. And since it happens to be Elvish ruins, maybe is there a way that I can check for traps?
Hold on one second here.
I mean, I think at this point we're like way far off from.
You are. So the building you are. Let me pull these up here. Give me a second here to get this ready for you.
Okay.
Let's give you a little better perspective. Oops. Bear with me one second here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna drop these guys down here, just so you can kind of see where they're at. So, if you're looking at, so you want to keep this open because this is like our battle map.
Yeah.
Here, the Elvish ruins here.
Probably willing to. I'm sorry.
Did we lose? Did we lose Bradley?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you are. I'm showing that you can't. Your little icon is not showing up in the bottom of these Elvish ruins. Do you have it open? You're able to see what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see him.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I see that. I don't. On the GM side, how you can see who has the window open.
Oh,
I've got it made as the entire background. Maybe that changes something.
Maybe. Okay, no worries. All right. So what you see is basically what the appearance is, or the situation here, scale wise. So this building is probably. That door is 10 feet high, so this building's probably like 50 or 60 feet high. You guys are maybe 100 feet or more away from it on this ridge. You guys feel free to move. I'm not going to use a grid, so you guys feel free to move yourselves around. Just kind of use this as a
Gotcha.
Reference, right? But not a strict battle map.
So when you said we see skeletons, I mean, do they appear to be moving or
No, they're standing perfectly still.
perfectly
They're
still?
on our combat tracker. I consider that a clue. So
Right.
I think since these are Elvis ruins, and I have stealth and perception as some of my favorable traits here, I'm willing to volunteer to stealth my way in there and see what might be going on with those skeletons.
All right.
Okay, so what are you going to do? Kalessa?
So should I move myself first? I want to do it stealthily, so should I move myself first, or should I roll for stealth?
No, you don't need to roll. Just tell me what you're doing, what you want to do.
Okay. I want to go basically right up to those skeletons, but in a way that, like, maybe kind of, so maybe they can't see me, or I'm like maybe kind of shadowed or something like that. And I want to see if I can perceive anything, anything bad or evil about them, or if they're just dead people.
Okay, so make a first. Why don't you make a stealth check? All right,
Ooh.
and effect mage armor.
Yeah, I'm casting mage armor on myself.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That threw me off because it popped up right when she rolled stealth. I was like, "What in the world?" Okay, and show me about the area you were. Where were you going roughly?
Do you want me to move myself?
Yeah, you can move your token. Where kind of show me where you're going.
So I'm kind of thinking of going like, wait, do I move my token or do I drag a line?
No, you can move your token.
I mean, I'm thinking.
Show me where where were you thinking about heading?
I'm thinking like maybe at first, like maybe to the bottom of the ruins that we're kind of hiding around.
Okay.
I don't know how far that is.
Okay, yeah. So just climbing down, you kind of quietly enter into the water, and you can see that there are two skeletons. You're a little closer now. You see them clearly. They look like they're a little smaller. They look. You recognize them as elven skeletons, not human. They're both standing perfectly still, one on each side of the door. They have tattered armor and moss and lichen and other swampy materials kind of hanging from them a little bit.
Question: can I tell? Are they literally like standing, like erect, like normal, like standing up, or are they just more of a kind of a pile?
They're standing perfectly still, one on each side of the door, like statues.
Okay, so they're not falling apart or anything like that. So then, why don't I try and figure out from here if I can perceive like what they're all about? Like, can I do that from here?
So, I mean, from all you can really tell is what I've been able to tell you. They're just standing perfectly still. You have no idea why they would be there, or if they're alive or not, or if you've never been around skeletons like this before. So you really have no clue what's other than what you can see.
Okay. So. For and Amak and Yesenia, are they kind of in a position like where I was on the roof before? So if I maybe approach the skeletons, would they be able to kind of back me up from where they are?
So let's say you're about maybe 150 feet away.
Ooh. No. So the answer is no.
No.
Yeah. So out of character, no.
That's all right though. All right, so when I feel the mage armor start to form around Aaron, and my blade almost involuntarily glows red briefly.
Oh.
and it casts fiendish vigor on me.
Okay. You know how to do that in Fantasy Grounds?
Looks like I just did it.
Excellent.
I have 8 temporary hit points that last 1 hour.
Yep, I see that.
Sensing this is going on, all of a sudden a large like cloud of spores start to come out of your Yersinia shell, and all of like the fungus and stuff start to like gently start shaking and vibrating. And he's gonna use Symbiotic Entity,
which also gives you temporary hit points. Excellent. Okay.
Nice.
Although I'm level 2, so I should get 8 temporary hit points, I believe.
You will know your abilities better than me most of the time and have to tell me what they are. Although you can always just drag and drop into the chat window like I just did, right? I drug Symbiotic Entity. And then, that way people can open it and look and see.
Okay. So
Right.
it says 2 per level, or it says 4 per level in Druid.
You get 4 temporary hit points for each level you have in this class. Yeah, so it's probably not coded quite correctly, so I can adjust you manually. Or you already did.
I
You're
did,
good.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so what's the plan?
So I'm watching. Yeah, I'm watching Kaylessa.
All right. Kalessa, what are you doing?
Man. Okay, so it seems to me like Aaron and Amok are ready to follow me in here. So we might as well. We think that Horde is in there, so
So you're standing at the base of the little hill that you guys were on. You're about knee deep in water. You're crouched down in some brush and in muck, watching these two things. The sun is shining across the mossy, grassy surface on the way to the door.
So I think.
So what are you doing?
I'll sneak in there a little more, as long as Aaron and Amok are coming with me, which it seems like they are.
Yeah, you can't tell for sure, but it seems like they probably are. You call to them.
I mean, at this point, I'm waiting to see. I'm going to start to sneak forward as well.
As am I.
Yeah, I want to make sure I stay within a round or so of if she gets in trouble. I want to stay within.
So
I want to stay within within Eldritch Blast range, so I start to advance.
So, Kalessa, so describe to me what you're doing. Are you just gonna walk across the grass towards them?
Yeah. So I've drawn my bow and arrow, so I'm ready, kind of ready for action, and I'm creeping towards them slowly to see if they move or do anything.
So you kind of made it down to where you're at. If you're gonna it's gonna be tough to sneak across the grass.
So she's coming to an open area.
Yeah, if it's like an open area that you'd be crossing. So
if I see her starting to move out into the open, I'm going to start a trot down the hill that direction.
Okay, so I'm just making sure that's what you want to do, Kalessa. You can't really sneak straight towards them across that grass.
Okay, I'm not. Okay, maybe. I think you're giving me a hint here.
Also, if I can for a second.
No, you're fine. If you want to go striding up to them, you can choose to do whatever you want. I'm not trying to influence you in any way. I'm just making sure that you understand that you would no longer be sneaking, or that more specifically you'd have to make another stealth roll with disadvantage because you're out in the open, trying to cross towards them.
Well, I really don't see any other way to approach them. Hold on. I'm going to back up a second here. Are there any creatures, like animals, in the area that might be more concealed in this grassy, swampy
There's
thing?
little small frogs and lizards and birds and insects everywhere.
Okay. So why don't I look around and see if I can get a like a frog or a bird that is nearby, and see if I can get a better look through their eyes.
Okay, is that a spell that you have?
I feel like. Hold on. So I can intuit. Let's see. I'm just trying to see here. I feel like I have the ability, and I'm still learning here.
Yeah, no problem. Look, this is new, and we know that you haven't played D&D in a long time, so we will be very patient with you as you
I feel like
learn this.
I have
I would say I don't think that there's a ranger spell that allows you to see through animal eyes. I think
not at this level for sure.
by default, your two spells that you chose are Hunter's Mark and Cure Wounds.
Yeah,
And so those are the two spells that you have for the day. Hunter's Mark is used to help you do damage to a specific target, and then Cure Wounds is obviously healing. So, I will say that the fact that why don't you roll me a why don't you roll me an animal handling, or actually a nature check? Roll me a nature check.
That's the other thing I was thinking. I was just checking. Recall lore. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Oh, excellent roll. All right. So these putting two and two together. The animals around here, the birds and the frogs and lizards and everything are active and lively and moving about in this area. That to you as you kind of you're looking around at the animals around you, trying to figure out what's going on. It occurs to you that if these skeletons, they probably haven't moved in a while. Otherwise, the animals would all be silent. So these animals appear to be used to these skeletons being here.
Yes, I think that. But on the other hand, these animals are just like normal animals. They're supposed to be around here. They're not humanoid or super intelligent. And I'm just really suspicious because elves protect things, even if it's going to be something that is old and maybe we don't use it much anymore. The other thing I'm thinking is maybe Cord is in there and he enchanted them because he's trying to keep people from coming in while he's doing something.
All right, so I need you to make a decision. What do you want to do?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. But there's a time element that we have to consider as well.
Okay.
So I think you could try to approach stealthily with disadvantage, right? Just to give you a few ideas, right? You could try to try to sneak up on them stealthily with disadvantage. You could try to maybe sneak around and come at them from the dark side of the building or something if you wanted to be like super stealthy.
That's what I was thinking.
You could put an arrow into one of them from here and see if it reacts. You could stand up and stride towards them and call out to them and ask them, and see if they respond.
Why didn't I? Okay.
Just throwing random ideas out there, right? Just
so I'm going to do two things, but my turn, so I'll wait until my turn. But I am gonna go. I didn't even think of this. I'm gonna go like over here.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna sneak over there.
Yeah.
All right. So, I need you to make a stealth roll again. So you kind of hug the edges and sneak around, kind of like, we'll say,
nice.
kind of, sneaking around the edge there.
Whoa.
And
I'm really stealthy.
Yeah, you are.
You guys lose track of her. You can't. The three of you can no longer see her.
Okay, the minute that she loses track, I go, oh my God, we can't leave her out there alone. So I start to advance.
Yersinia would do the same thing and start making his way towards the water.
Say that again?
Yersinia would do the same thing and follow and start making his way towards the water.
Okay.
Before they start to move, I'd like to grab both their shoulders. I'm like, isn't this her job to disappear and not be seen in the forest?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I turn back. I say, but it's not her job to die alone. So I advance stealthily, but I just want to try to regain. Maybe I don't regain sight of her, but I want to at least get closer.
Okay. All right. So, go ahead and make your stealth roll as well. Then, both of you, if you're trying to stealth your way down to the water.
I'm just keeping my eyes on the skeletons.
Okay. You're standing on guard. You're headed down towards the water.
Oops. Crap. Yeah. Thanks.
I'm gonna use
so I need
an
to make a stealth
inspiration
roll
for this because I am not. Good
I
at
am
stealth.
not. I am not going to use inspiration.
As you might imagine, a 400-pound turtle is not really good at stealthing around quietly.
Mm.
Did you used inspiration for that? Okay, nice.
I am not going to. I'm just going to go all natural.
Roll your stealth there.
I don't know what I just did. That was stupid. Grab the shield instead of the dice.
Yeah, you can just go ahead. You know what to do. Drag the dice or double click.
I did. I rolled it in there.
No,
I thought I did. Huh.
Oh no, good.
Huh. That's
drag the dice from the skills tab. There you go. 13. All right. So the two of you kind of make it down there. The two skeletons, Aaron, you're watching as the skeletons towards the door. They don't react as Yersinia and Amak, quietly lower themselves, climbed out this rock towards the water. Kalesa, you are extremely stealthy. You can tell, when things are going really well. And however, I need you to make an initiative roll.
Oh man. Okay, hold on.
Excellent. As you're creeping silently around to the side, you see in the water, underneath the water, another skeleton. The water's kind of murky, so you don't see it until you're right up on it. And as soon as you get that close, its eyes light up with a greenish glow, and it lunges out of the water towards you.
Yikes. Okay. So I'm going to try to, yeah.
You get to go first. So it's right next to you. Lunges out of the water towards you, scaly claws reaching towards you.
Man.
So
I don't have. Yeah, I know. Eek.
Is she too far away for any of us to see?
Well, as this happens, you guys see the skeleton lunge out of the water, and you see a blur of movement next to the skeleton, which you can now see that Kalesa is over there. But you're not going to get to act this round.
Understood.
So,
Okay.
you have.
Can we see what the other skeletons are doing?
Bow out. So you have.
Did the other two skeletons start to move?
No.
Okay.
So Not yet. So you have your you didn't specify whether you have your bow out. You have a bow, and we forgot to give you another weapon.
I thought I only got to have a bow and arrow. I thought that was all I get. I get another weapon.
No.
So
for sure.
let's say you have a short sword. Then that's probably a good item for a ranger that's primarily an archer. So I'll take care of that for you real fast. Hold on. Weapons. Short sword.
Oh, wait a minute. I did pick something like that. What happened to it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it anymore. I just see the longbow. That's all right. We'll take care of it real fast. Hold on.
Thank you. Ooh.
Short sword. All right. So you prefer to use your bow, but you have a short sword in emergencies.
Yeah.
So now you should be able to see your short sword under your weapons on your actions tab. So
yeah.
On your turn, just a refresher, you get to move and you get to take one action, and then you can also take a normal action, and you can also take what's called a bonus action. Some of your spells and abilities require a bonus action. Some of them require a normal action. And you can also take free actions. And a free action would be something like, dropping your longbow and pulling out your short sword.
Can you remind me how to pull up that action tab a little more easily? What is the thing I need to...
The actions tab is your far bottom on your character sheet.
Yep. So if you go to your character sheet, choose the very last tab, actions.
Oh, there it is. I was looking for that. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
At the top, weapons.
And then remind me how to target.
Control and left click on the skeleton. Hold control down and left click on the skeleton you're targeting.
Thank you. Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
And it shows up in the combat tracker. So all of you should have the combat tracker open now, as well as this battle map. That's those two in your character sheet are really the only three things you need open.
Right.
The combat tracker is the cross swords in the top right.
Oh, you know what?
All right. And you can go ahead and make your attack roll. And while she's doing that, the rest of you can roll for initiative.
Okay, sounds good.
So this would be my attack roll. Did that work? Okay.
It did. So it startles you as it lunges out of the water. So you toss your bow to the side on what looks like a little bit of dry ground, so it doesn't sink into the water. Pull out your sword really quickly and take a stab at it.
Careful with you don't have to double click it because it rolled twice for you.
I accidentally double clicked, so obviously we're going to go with my first click.
So,
yeah, you can ignore that second one. I didn't mean to double click.
Something else. Okay, I thought I saw it. Okay, so yeah, that's all right. You double clicking, that's fine. You can ignore it. So you hit, and now roll for damage. Oh, excellent. Oh, you know what? That you rolled your longbow. So hold on just a second. Let me correct that.
I did that. Oh, man.
Remember to roll the damage next to the short sword.
Do skeletons
Hold on.
have damage
I
resistance? to
apologize.
anything?
1d6
I
plus
meant
3
that-
piercing. Do you see where it says 1d6 plus 3 piercing?
Yep. Yeah, I
Oh, nice.
just...
Max
There we go.
damage on both rolls.
Do skeletons have damage resistance against anything other than bludgeoning?
No, just your character doesn't know that. So
I said we hadn't fought
Okay,
skeletons.
fair enough. We don't know that. You're right.
right. All right. The skeleton in turn. No, it says spears. It is targeting you. It reaches out with it. Actually, I think I said it had claws. It reaches out with its claws and scrapes you. Bony claws dig into your flesh And that's the end of the first round. It was kind of a surprise round. So now we're going to skip to round 2. So as that combat happens, as the thrashing over in the water happens, the 2 skeletons come to life by the door, and you see a 4th one rise out of the water on the other side of the steps.
Okay.
And so we're back to round 2, and
I look to see where Aaron is in relative to. Can we see Kaylessa and her assailant?
yeah,
this point?
now you can see them both clearly.
Okay. I yell out that I'll free up Kaylessa.
Add NPC numbering. Hold on
I
one
yell
second.
out-
NPC rolls are fixed. So I was talking to Bradley after our game last Monday, and he definitely talked me into rolling for initiative each round. I
Okay.
think it's a lot of fun. I know that's how a lot of other games do it. And the
I think it's
main
cool.
drawback is that it takes a lot of time. But since Fantasy Grounds will automate it, then there's very little downside. I
Okay,
just
cool.
have to find it here. So we'll try that for a little bit and see if we like it. Roll initiative each round. But we're not going to do it for this round. We'll let me start
That
here.
makes sense.
All right. So this is basically the first real round. Kaylessa, so you're the fastest actually because of your initiative. So you get to go again.
I yell out that I'm going to help free up Kaylessa, and for everybody else to focus on the door.
Geez, I'm getting lucky here today.
Ouch! Dang.
Very good. So
Okay.
nice. So you take another swing at it with your sword, and it collapses and falls into the water, and and appears to be inanimate and destroyed. The skeletons are slow walking through waist-high, knee-high marsh and over the grasses. They're all rambling towards you, Kaylessa, and they all go next. So they're all headed your way.
Oh my dear.
Coming down let me back them up a little bit. Aaron, you're up. From the top of this, you see them, all come to life and start rambling. What are you doing?
I'll take my move and my action to move to double up and just head as far close as I can get.
Yeah, you can get to that skeleton if you're taking a double move.
We're like 120 foot away from her. Or 100
Okay.
feet.
All right, so you just
So I can
you
move.
can ballpark it wherever you want to go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to just head towards one of them that is going towards her. I figure it'll take 2 rounds to get there.
You could probably, if you went straight for skeleton number 4, you could probably intercept it.
Okay, yeah, if I can make it to that one, sure.
All
And
right,
still,
let's put you up
get.
there then.
All right, cool.
All right, but that takes your entire turn. Yersinia, what are you doing?
Let's see. I'm just trying to figure which ones of these. Oh, there we go. I can just mouse over them. Got it. Okay. Can I get in between or up to skeleton number 2?
Not without taking a double move. It's probably still like 100 feet away or so.
Okay.
Right, it's quite a ways off.
Yeah, if that thing's 100 feet away. You know what? Actually, yeah, I will use my action and my bonus action to dash and get in between them.
You could probably, if with a dash, you could probably get to skeleton 1.
Okay.
Right. Do turtles have any kind of movement bonus through water?
No.
No. Okay.
No. In fact, their hold your breath thing says they're not inherently good swimmers.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So we'll say you can probably get up to this one if you're trying to get close.
Okay. Is it possible to get on the other side of it?
Sure. Yeah. You want to move yourself? You can move yourself.
Try.
No, I meant like
gotcha.
over here, like in between 1 and 2.
He wants to
Okay,
be
yeah,
in
sure,
21
sure.
and 2.
You can
Okay.
get there.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn then.
all right.
All right.
So you guys are all scrambling. Amok, you
All
could.
right. I'm just gonna move to where I can get within Eldritch Blast range, which is 120 feet.
Okay, they're all already in that range.
Okay. Well, I still want to make it to where I can get hand to hand next turn. So
Okay, so move.
I'm gonna move to I guess probably right here, something like that,
Yeah, sure.
where I'm rounding the water.
Yep. So you're
and
rounding
I'll-
around the outside.
Yep, and I'll take a shot at skeleton number 2. Let's see, where did the combat tracker go?
You can just control click on the token itself on the map. You don't have to control.
Right, I
click.
just want to get that combat tracker up so I can see it.
Sure.
Okay, control click the one on the map.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. And I'm going to try to my left hand crackles with purple energy, and I'm going to smack.
Hit it with a blast of Eldritch Might.
Eldritch energy,
Roll your damage there.
and barely scraped it, but I got
Scraped.
it.
You got its attention. It turns towards you.
Excellent.
All right, let's see if this. Let's see if it rerolls initiative here. Ready? You did. All right.
Nice. I love it.
All right.
Skeleton 1 is the skeleton nearest you, Yersinia. So it stumbles and splashes in the water straight towards you, towards the little peninsula that you're standing on. And jabs at you with a spear. But it's kind of in the water, and it's easy for you to get out of the way. Amok, you're up again.
Can I use my reaction,
All right.
please?
I'm sorry, what?
Can I use my reaction?
What do you want to do?
The Halo of Spores. When a creature enters or starts its turn within melee range of me, I can deal 1d4 necrotic damage to it. And because of symbiotic entity, it's 2d4.
Excellent.
So we'll see if it actually rolls 2d4 and it knows that.
So as it approaches you, it takes a stab at you with its spear, and then these spores kind of, what do they do?
They just kind of create this cloud, and it creeps into like all of the little orifices within its skull, because there's no eyeballs and stuff like that.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, go ahead and roll that damage then.
Do you want to just roll 2 of these since I didn't roll 2 of them?
Yeah, you get to roll 2 per level.
You get to roll 2. You get to roll 2 because of symbiotic entity being up.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
And let me drag that one to the.
Sorry, I should have clicked on number 1.
No,
Right?
that's okay. Yeah. Let's do that again because you didn't target. So, house roll reroll. That's funny. That die looked cocked.
There we go.
All right. Is that a poison?
It is
Necrotic. It says
it's necrotic.
there.
Yeah.
Necrotic.
Okay. Yeah. It would have figured that out anyway. They're immune to poison. All right. So Amok.
All right. I move to intercept skeleton number 2.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. And then obviously I have I always start the day with my weapon infused. So let's see. I will. I'm not going to use my Hexblade's curse on it because I only get to do that once a day, I think. Yeah, I'm going to wait on that. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and just take a swipe at him.
All right.
Let's
Roll
see,
it.
do I have him? I do still have
Target
him
him.
targeted.
You already have him targeted. Yep.
That is not going to work.
Yeah. They're faster than you think.
Yep.
He
I'm
ducks
good.
and blocks it with his spear.
Yep.
All right, and you've already moved as well.
Yep.
Skeleton 2 is he takes a swing back at you with his spear, and he misses as well. The next skeleton is number 4, which that's the skeleton that you're on, Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
He is you targeted here, and he's jabbing at you with the spear from dry land. He's able to hit you. You guys have a little bit more stable surface over there where you're fighting compared to some of the others, and he nicks you with the tip of his spear. Kalesa, you see everybody is engaged now. Your 3 friends are each engaged in melee combat with the 3 remaining skeletons. What are you going to do?
I'm going to keep fighting that skeleton that's closest to me, which is 2, and I'm already targeting it. So I'm just gonna. I'm too close still to use I'm gonna get back at it with my short sword again. So,
okay. So you charge forward to help Amok.
Yeah.
Put you over there.
Okay.
And take a swing.
Why didn't it go? Oh, here we go.
Boy, this guy.
Ooh.
He's doing a great job fending us off.
Yeah, you were going to hit him at the same time that Amok was, and he ducks under both of your blows. Aaron, you're up.
Okay, I will reach out and try to shocking grasp. Nope.
All right.
Oh dear.
Steps out of the way. Oh, sorry.
Oopsies.
No problem. Oh, big problem because it skipped.
Yeah,
So,
skip my turn and then.
Oh, so I know you're used to advancing yourself. In our game, why don't you let me advance you?
Okay.
Just because I'm used to always having to advance people to keep the combat
Sorry,
flowing.
because I was like, yep. I don't know why it jumped. I just clicked their turn.
Because you and I both clicked
Yeah.
in turn at the same time, and nobody else has been clicking in turn. I do it for them. So no worries. But so it was Yersenia's turn at the end of round 2 or 3 rather.
Right.
So Yersenia, you're actually going to get to take 2 actions back to back here.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I was just going to ask.
Hey, I actually forgot too when I cast my mage armor that put my arcane ward on me, which gives me at the moment 3 bonus hit points. So that damage, can you change the damage that was done to me?
Oh yeah. So you took 0.
Yeah, or no, it's already done. Never mind.
Oh, fix it. Oh.
All right. So Yersenia.
I am going to use the most poorly named spell in the entire game of Dungeons and Dragons, which is Chill Touch.
All right.
It's not a touch attack. It has a 120-foot range.
Well, it creates a hand that comes out of the ground.
I suppose. Or actually, let me ask you this. Because it is... Let's see. It makes a ranged spell attack. Is this guy too close? Is that going to be a disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a ranged attack and you're in melee, it's a disadvantage.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I wanted to clarify before I do that. Okay, just kidding. I am not going to do that. I will just take a straight stab with the end of the quarterstaff. Then.
All right. Take your swing.
I drag it on top of number 1.
You can, or you can control, and no, you don't have to. You should be able to just roll it because you already have them targeted. Ooh, nice.
Cool. And the damage part of it.
Excellent.
Nice.
You crack its skull into 2 pieces, and it falls over with a splash into the water. And then you turn towards another skeleton because it's your turn again at the top of the next round.
All right. Can I get to number 2 over here?
You sure can. They're all pretty close.
All right, cool. From behind number 2, going to take out the quarterstaff again and just whack him over the back of the head.
Sure, and I'm going to give you... Well, go ahead. Oh. That's fine. You hit Art anyway. That's fine. All right. Nice.
Nice.
The turtle is upset. Actually, more accurately,
Get
the
off my
druid.
lawn.
The druid is not happy with these
No doubt.
abominations to nature, and crushes 2 of them
They're immune to poison, right?
in a
Not
matter
that
of
it matters.
moments. Kalessa, you're about to swing at the skeleton again, and it collapses in front of you, and the turtle is standing behind it with a grumpy grin on his face.
Okay, so guess what I'll do is help out Aaron.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
you
that's what I
charge
said.
towards the last one
Yep.
and try to put a sword into its back.
Yes. Okay, so let's do this. Ooh.
You can't quite get there, so your swing is a little clumsy at the end there. Amok.
All right. It's a good ways away. It looks pretty crowded over there. I'm going to maneuver over here to get a little bit cleaner shot and fire off an Eldritch Blast.
All right.
See, I'm targeting him. And
Yeah, you're too worried about hitting your friends, and your
Yep.
shot goes wide. The skeleton didn't notice Kalessa, so it's still going to attack you, Aaron. You sidestep it, and it's your turn.
Same thing. Reach out and try to touch someone.
Reach out and touch someone.
It's not wearing metal armor by chance, is it?
No, maybe a few little pieces, but not really. It's pretty rotten.
There it is.
Nice.
Crappy damage, but
Yeah. You reach out and shock it with a little bolt of lightning out of your hand.
What I found is the first part of doing damage, Oak, is actually hitting.
yeah, that always helps.
It's generally step
Kill
one.
us.
That's what I found.
You kind of steady yourself, close in on it, and attack it with your sword. I believe.
Get a little
Right?
more stab.
Are you
Yeah,
still
let's
trying?
get a little. Let's get a little more stabby here.
Oh, natural 20. That's going to do. So that's a critical hit when you roll a natural 20, right? So you're going to get to roll an extra die of damage, and the game will do that for you.
Oh, did you turn off your critical hits because it didn't roll it?
She hasn't rolled damage yet.
No,
I didn't roll damage yet.
rolled the 20. It should.
Yeah. That's right. Oh,
What happened?
hold on, just a sec. Hold on.
Wait. That's weird. I saw it too. The die said 20. Look at her roll in the chat window.
Oh, it's interesting. Maybe it's just she didn't actually. She got 15.
If she only rolled a 10, I saw
must
the
have-
die. I'm like, sweet, that's a crit. But yeah, the die in chat window's a 10.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
there may be a little bit of a latency there because I've seen a couple other die rolls look like they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
something else.
I
Hey,
do.
guys,
Yeah,
but
I do have fumbles and critical hits on. Okay, so it wasn't a critical hit.
Boom,
But
boom,
you get to
roll for
boom.
ugh.
Nice.
That's nice. That's nice.
Oh, that actually worked. That's good.
Yeah, he's not dead
Yeah.
yet, but he will be. Aaron's going to
You see-
finish
you
him off.
see-
Yep, trying to
Aaron, you see Kalessa's blade comes through its ribs cage, and seizing the opportunity.
Fuck.
That's shocking,
See,
grab.
I was going right for that spot in the rib cage, and then I had to pull my
Right.
hand back at the last moment not to get
You cut.
Right.
You cut your
Right at the
hand.
blade.
Cut your hand on her blade.
Yep.
Dude.
Yarsinia, you can see your two friends in front of you fighting the skeleton, almost have it destroyed.
Yep. I'm going to do what I was going to do the first turn, and I'm going to use Chill Touch.
Ah, very nice.
Again, the most poorly named spell.
Ooh, you're going to miss.
Oops.
It's good versus undead, though.
Good thing I didn't have him targeted.
Yeah. Are you going to move
No doubt.
after
no doubt.
after your spell? Or are you going to move?
Yeah, I'll move in towards him. Yeah.
Okay. Head into melee range. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Amok. It's awfully crowded over there.
Oh, he didn't. Don't you get to reroll? Because he didn't target.
And it's pretty obvious who
that's
he's
right.
targeting.
You didn't. Yeah, you get to reroll. You're sending
Yeah, it's. I mean, you moved it on to me. He can still do it though, right? Okay.
he can
you
still
missed
do it.
anyway.
Still misses. Oh well.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Very good.
And then I'll go back into
All
melee.
right. So All right. I'm gonna hot foot it through here. Displeased with my performance in combat so far. I literally do a somersault between these two guys and drive my blade towards the skeleton.
All right. So I would have given you inspiration for that if you had remembered to spend any this combat. But why don't you make an acrobatics roll first?
Oh boy, that was a mistake. Here we go. Acrobatics. Here we go.
You want to spend an inspiration on this acrobatics roll?
Yeah, I'm going to spend inspiration on my acrobatics roll. So I need to make it with click the advantage button and then roll.
Yep. Nice. All right. You land. You do a front flip through the air and over your companions. Land next to the skeleton.
I bring my blade down on its head. All right. Where did my? There it goes. Okay.
And in the process, he farted in my face.
Right.
Right.
Hit. Very good. All right. So damage.
Excellent. And you land on top of it with your blade and drive it into the ground. It shatters into 100 pieces of bone scattered across the marsh floor. And the scene is clear.
Very nice.
There, you guys pause, catch your breath. Kalesa was the only one wounded. Looking around, doesn't look like there's any other skeletons.
Can I heal myself, or should someone else heal me? Or should I just walk it off? How wounded am I?
How much damage do you have? You're fine.
You should see on your main page of your character sheet how much HP you have.
How much HP I have?
Yeah, so at the bottom of the main page, you'll see where it says hit points, wounds, max, temp.
Yeah.
Someone's actually made a cool add-on that adds an extra little box there that shows current hit points, so you don't have to do your math. It just shows what your actual current is.
Because you were told there'd be no math.
All right. You guys catch your breath. You look around. The insects have gone quiet, and frogs have all leaped into the water during the battle. And as the stillness after the battle comes back, the animals start to chirp and sing. What are you guys going to do?
Are there any signs that anyone's been here recently?
There were two of you talking at once. Say that again.
Are there any signs that anyone's been here recently?
No, not. I mean, it's too hard to tell with the swamp. There's no like obvious footprints in the mud or anything. But it would be very hard to tell if anything had been here recently, unless it was large and heavy enough to kind of destroy stuff. So it doesn't look like it.
If those were out here, there must be something worthwhile in there. Now,
I'm really sorry, you guys. I gotta take a bio break. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. If Cord came here, he clearly he either got past those without having to deal with them, or he never went inside. And he's gone.
Or he's trapped inside and they're guarding him.
I could see any one of those three being the case. I suggest we get up. We make our way inside.
Agreed.
For scale,
Agreed.
Nick, that looks like very, very small people standing on a stairway. Like this is a huge structure.
Yeah, it does look like that. Like that door is more like 20 feet tall.
Right.
I think that's cool. This thing is massive, right? So you guys have gathered on the steps here, and the door, as you get closer, you thought it was a normal sized door, but now that you're standing in front of it, it's closer to like 20 feet tall, and this building is, the scale of it is pretty crazy. It looks like it's probably 100 feet tall, from what you can tell.
Does there appear to be? Is the door? What does it appear to be made of? Does it appear to be in any way, shape, or form open?
The door looks like the door is old, but it looks very solid and is made of stone and metal.
That's not going to be easy to get through.
Unless
there's something obvious to open it. Now, there also looks to be quite a bit of rubble on the back side of this. I wonder if there's a way in back there if this is blocked. And it looks like there may be doorways on each side and under each of the large arches.
So we're looking at a blocked door?
Well, we don't know. We just know what it's made of, and it's huge.
Yeah.
Is there any writing anywhere?
Looking around, you don't see anything, no. But although, the stones are pretty, have been covered by swampy moss for generations now.
Well, if Cord's in there, he needs our help. Unless somebody sees something that I don't. Let's try. I forgot
something I wanted to tell you guys at the beginning of the session. Just a little house rule that I like, because we didn't go through a lot of detail of buying equipment and stuff. I would like for each of you to open your character sheet and go to the inventory tab on your character sheet and right click and if you choose the bottom radial menu choice, it's create an item. Do that twice and just call it MISC, miscellaneous. So each of you have 2 miscellaneous items, and what that's for is whenever you guys want, you can say that you have some kind of mundane item on you that you didn't specifically spell out before.
Got it.
So we just type in MISC under the name?
That's right.
And it doesn't matter what it weighs or anything like that?
No, not right now.
Not yet.
We'll replace it with something real later.
Yeah.
You said we have 2 of them?
Yeah, you have 2 of them. You just kind of use them whenever you want and say, oh, by the way, I have a lantern, or I have a, 50 feet of rope, or whatever.
By the way, I have a belt of stone giant strength.
You're right.
You have a plus 10 Vorpal sword of dragon.
Exactly right. That's right. That's right. Okay, so I'm like, okay, look, we've got to get in here or get out of here. If Cord's in there, we need to go find out now. This does not look like the kind of place we need to be lingering.
I agree.
Okay. You guys, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm volunteering to see if I can climb up the side and look in through the broken roof.
That's really high up there. I mean, look for scale, Meredith. If you look at the stairs that are out of the way, it's hundreds of feet
way too
up.
high.
It's probably maybe 100 feet. It is really high, Meredith, Kaylessa. It is very high, but it does look like an easy climb because there's vines and tree branches and moss and ledges and stuff.
And I'm good at climbing.
All right, make it. Let's do it.
It's definitely a high, dangerous climb, but it should be easy as well.
Do I need to roll for athletic, or should I just?
You do. If you're gonna climb up the side of it, then that would be an athletics check.
Okay, I'm gonna use some inspiration.
probably a good idea. You know what?
Yep.
Actually, though,
What?
you don't have to, because it's so easy to climb. You get advantage anyway. You don't
Got
need
it.
inspiration.
Okay, but I'll roll this.
I'm
Hold
also
on.
going to give her guidance.
Okay, so that gives you an extra D4, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for me? Okay.
So highlight the advantage button and make a athletics.
Okay, I need to highlight the advantage button. Okay. Come on. Here we go.
All right. So the rest of you watch with some trepidation as she begins to climb her way up the side of the ruins. It takes her a while, right? She's moving quickly. She's a very nimble elf, and it's an easy climb, so she's climbing quite fast. You can tell that she's getting pretty small as she gets up there. But you make it, Kalessa, so you get to the top. You can see that a large chunk of the roof is caved in. And you can see down inside, and the sun is shining down inside, and I am going to show you something that nobody else can see. So that's what you see when you look down inside. Okay. Now, the thing that you see in the middle there is not there. This is artwork. That mouse reading a giant spell book, that's not there. That's just part of the artwork. There's something else there. Instead. There's like there's a large I don't know. There's a large statue of an owl in the middle.
Is the hat really there?
No, but you do see next to the statue, you see a body. It's far away because you're looking down 100 feet, but there's a body on the ground.
Okay, hold on a second here.
There's you can see there's chains going to the chandeliers, and there's and you see all the rest. There are no candles either, though. It's dark. You can see all of this with your elven vision.
Yeah.
But the sun is coming through the hole too, so it's not totally dark.
Okay.
So actually, you're not using your elven vision. It's lit by the sunlight coming through the hole.
Okay, it is lit. Okay.
Yeah.
So
what are you
I'm
gonna do?
assuming I am going to that they're 100 feet away, so there's no way I could yell at them and tell everybody else what I'm doing, right?
So you could go to the top, you could go over to the kind of the side of the ruins and yell down to them.
Okay, so I yelled at everybody. I see something. I'm going in.
Whoa, by yourself?
Yeah, with my rope.
All right.
Did I not? What do you guys think?
No, you can do what you want. I'm gonna.
But
The minute she does that, I'm gonna go. None of us have tried the door. I'm gonna go examine the door.
All right.
Okay.
You probably while she was climbing, you check the door. It doesn't budge. It looks like it's probably been in place for hundreds of years. Kind of looks like it would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to move.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay. Actually, before I go in, is this something where possibly like a perception check would figure out if there's anything in there readily that might attack me?
You don't see anything moving in there. You
Okay.
you kind of see what I described and what you see in that image.
Okay. So
Books everywhere, but shelves everywhere.
and all those chains are there?
What's that?
Those chains are there that are coming down.
Your voice is a bit garbled, and my hearing is not super
Let me try.
great. So I'm having a hard time understand what you're asking.
1 second.
What were you asking if it's there?
Here, I typed it in the chat.
Oh yeah. There's you see 4 chandeliers and chains hanging down to the chandeliers. The other 2 chains go all the way down to the dais where the statue of the owl is.
I'm gonna climb down the chain.
Okay, one of the main 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So the rest of you can no longer see Kalesa.
All right, this could go poorly, guys. We've got to get inside.
Agreed.
You guys don't know what's happening, right?
Right.
You just that she's.
So there's obviously we could have seen that there's all kinds of rubble on the backside of this thing. We let's move around to the backside and see if there's any other egress in.
Sure.
Okay, so you're good. So you're circling around.
Yeah, because I'm like I point to Yersinia, and I'm like, there's no way half shell's climbing up the side of this building.
No, but you know what I could do? Could look underneath.
Ooh.
Underneath the building
Well, in the water.
to see if there's any way in under the
Possibly.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting choice. Yeah. I'd like to move around to the other side of the building. That's what I like while you're doing that, I'm going to run around to the back side of this building and see if there's a way in.
And I'll wait at the front
We'll meet
to
back
cover
here.
in case something happens.
All right. Sounds good. So I'm going to
All
run
right.
over here.
Go ahead. And
Obviously,
Aaron,
that's a long way, but
that's a long way, but that's all right. You can while that's going on, Kalesa, why don't you make me another athletics check to climb down this chain.
Got it.
can't afford to get smoked here. Nice.
Nice. Natural 20. Excellent. So you start
more 20s than I've rolled hits.
right. So you can
I'm not shooting.
you can
awesome.
easily can kind of lower yourself down this chain, and as you do, you're kind of almost like sliding down it, right? And you get about halfway down, and you hear this scraping noise.
Oh.
And you're looking down as you go, and you see the stone head of the owl turn towards you. Its eyes glowing this goldish yellow, and with a big scraping noise, it unflutters its wings and takes off up in the air towards you. And I need you to roll initiative.
Oh man, you're a whole lot less excited about this climb.
Okay, hold on.
And I think that's a pretty loud noise, and it echoes through this chamber. So I think everyone hears that happening. You're around the back, Amok. Aaron, you're at the front. Yersinia, you're under the water, trying to get under, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't know how far he would have gotten before this
Right,
happened,
right.
but yes.
I think so. You're swimming underwater. You probably hear it as well, kind of muffled through the water. But none of you have any idea what that noise is. It just sounded like It sounded like a stone door opening or something, some kind of scraping,
Mm-hmm.
stone on stone noise. You have no idea what it is. Hold on one second. All right. So we'll have one round of combat, and then I'm going to ask everybody else what they're doing. So,
Okay,
Kalesa, you're hanging from the chains. Your sword is in its sheath. Your bow is on your back, so that you could climb down. And this thing is flying up towards you menacingly, like it's got talons and a stone beak. It's not massive, but it's large. It's larger than you. It's probably like, you would guess that this statue itself, when it was standing there, it was maybe like 7-8 feet tall, and so its wingspan is maybe like 15 feet or so.
Mm.
It's pretty large. It's much larger than you. It's probably twice your size, and headed straight towards you.
And it's a mechanical or something. It's not.
It's
Like
stone.
really an owl.
It looks like it's stone, and it's come to life through some type of magic.
Mm.
Why don't you make me a history check?
Okay.
And actually, you have advantage on this check.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll click advantage.
So excellent, 17. As this happens, a memory from your childhood, stories of elves using, of the high elves using. Wood elves don't do this because wood elves are all more foresty, right? But the high elves, you've heard in the past of them using stone guardians to protect important places, and that the stone guardians could magically come to life. And so putting two and two together, you quickly realize your mistake and realize that that's what's happening.
Oh crap! Better get inside fast.
Yeah. So I guess I have two.
Well, for all you guys know, she just opened a door and is about to come out the front door.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, see, if they would have just waited, she'd have got the door open for us.
Right.
Yeah, right. Aaron, when you hear that noise, you're like, "Oh, sweet," and you're waiting for the door to open.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kalesa, what are you doing? You're on the chain. You have no weapons out. I mean, you could probably like hang on with one hand and pull out your sword if you wanted to, but whatever else you want to do, you only have a moment to react though, so you need to decide kind of quickly.
Is this owl like normal owl size, or is it like a massive?
No, it's way bigger than you. He said.
Oh, I missed that. Thank you. And do these chains swing?
With the wings and everything, it's probably double your size.
Okay. Do the chains swing? Maybe you can't hear me. Hold on.
Sure. Oh, the chains are. If the chain, I apologize. I'm having a hard time hearing you muffled. I have a ear thing that causes my ear to ring. And it's kind of ringing because we had rain today, and that combined with your mic is time. So it's not just your mic's fault. It's also because of my ear thing. So don't feel bad. Yeah, the chain. I mean, the chain has been swinging and rattling as you climb down. So yeah, you could. It'll swing some. But Meredith, I can hear 90% of what you're saying. It's just every once in a while a word seems too garbled. So you don't need to type everything.
Okay. Can I swing on the chain and disembark and try to hide?
Yeah.
How far up
So
is she?
the thing is, go for it. So let's make a acrobatics roll then. Why don't you make an acrobatics roll? You didn't have to. Yeah, you have one inspiration left.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to use my last inspiration here and do that.
You can
So-
you can probably leap off to the side. You're not necessarily going to be able to hide, but on your turn, you could at least try to swing the chain enough to leap off to the side and grab one of those rails.
Am I still stealthy?
Layers and
like, so if I get over there, can I still be stealthy? I mean, obviously not in the air, but if I get down,
yeah, you can't hide when something's watching you. So there's no way to be stealthy in the situation.
Okay. Well, we'll
But
do an acrobatics.
you definitely can leap out of the way of this thing. Excellent, 18. So you do that successfully. So you start. The chain's already swinging a little bit. As soon as you see this, as soon as you saw it start moving, you kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. You make a desperate grab, leap, and you leap onto this chandelier over here, right? And the chandelier swings back and forth. Oh, where's my owl? I didn't put my owl out here. Hold on. There he is right there. Hold on.
Whoa.
There. Let me get him about right size. He's about that big. So he's here. And he's starting to fly up. You leap onto that chandelier and continue with the swinging motion. You jump over to the side to this balcony. Over here. All right?
Okay.
It swoops up towards you, spins, kind of crashes into the chandelier, and it takes one swipe at you with its talons. It can attack with its beak and its talons, but I think because you jumped out of the way, it's just only going to be able to take just a swipe at you with one talon. And it catches you as you're on the balcony. But you kind of scramble out of the way. It just maybe knocks the wind out of you a little bit. All right. So cutting away from the combat, why don't you?
Wait 1 sec. It knocked the wind out of me.
Yeah, it swooped by, flew past you, swiped at you with one talon, kind of caught you. It's a stone talon, right? And so it was like being hit with a big rock. And so it bruised your shoulder and kind of smashed you into some of the books. Books go tumbling down the side to the 60 feet to the bottom. The wood creaks that you're standing on, like it might give way, but it seems to hold for now. And you kind of stumble. You stumble into and slam into one of the bookshelves.
Okay.
But you're okay. It was a minor hit. It only did 3 damage to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my longbow and try to shoot it down.
We're gonna pause there while I talk to the other guys.
Sorry.
So you haven't. So I'll come back to you when it's your turn in initiative again.
Sorry.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, actually, you know what, guys? It's 10:50. This is probably a good stopping point.
Yeah, probably so. So we pick back
A
up.
bit of a cliffhanger. The Kalesa is in trouble for sure inside here, but she's okay so far. Yersinia,
Yes.
you see as you're swimming under, you all hear the stone grating noise from inside. Yersinia, you can see a little light, a little looks like there's a by going under, you might be able to come up into some area. There looks like there's a way for you to swim into the building from underneath.
Okay.
From where you can see. And Amok, because you've come around to the side, so the side is still it's relatively intact still, but there are old windows and gaps and stuff, and you are able to peer inside through a crack in the wall, and you see, when you hear that noise, you peer inside and you vaguely see what's happening inside, and
Gotcha.
shout out a warning to the others, and we'll stop there for the night.
Cool.
This
All
is
right,
cool.
man.
All right.
It might be in danger, but this is pretty cool anyway.
That's right. It's always more fun to screw up than to do everything perfectly.
No
Well,
doubt.
yeah, that's why.
Story's a lot more interesting when you make mistakes or do other,
Or
off the
take
wall stuff.
risks, or take risks and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Dude, don't worry, Meredith. I'll be in there to roll an 8 on my first attack roll in a minute. All right, that was fun, guys. I'm gonna go hit the sack.
Night,
All
everybody.
right, have a good night, guys.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. We will be back next week, same time, 9 o'clock Central. If anyone wants to get notifications of when we go live, go ahead and click the follow button in the lower right-hand corner there. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you next time.